Hi, I'm Becky from Dot to Dot Studio.
And I'm Sarah from It's So Kotoko. Welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning into our last vlog, and just for all the comments there, thank you very much. So I thought I'd start today by talking about what I've been making this last week. I'm ashamed to say that I'm actually wearing ready to wear because I haven't finished anything different.
It's good to tell people though.
It's good to tell. So
Everyone asks, don't they?
So this is ready to wear, but it is actually something that I want to potentially make a copy of.
Okay.
And I have actually signed up to your class, so I've signed up to your.
Oh yes, we have a copy your clothes.
A copy your clothing pattern. So
it's a 2-day workshop.
2-day workshop. Yeah. So I've signed up to that. So hopefully, I think this is going to be on the list because it's quite simple.
It's got little tiny pleats. You won't be able to replicate that, but that's more to do with the fabric than the cut.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. I have actually been running an event in Barcelona this week, again, hence why I don't really have much to show because I haven't been able to really spend much time doing any sewing. But I thought I would just bring over, so I think I already spoke about this before and the fabric that I've used. It's, I think was it cotton lawn?
This is a cotton lawn.
Cotton lawn that I've made. And this is the pyjama top that I'm making so far. And Becky also had some really lovely silk, so I've actually done all of the bias binding here. I've done that actually out of silk, and it feels really beautiful. It just sort of like elevates it to feeling a lot more special. And I've also been learning how to do French seams. So I don't know if you can see that in there, but I've actually been sort of doing French seams as well, which is why at the moment I'm sort of putting in a sleeve here.
Yeah, it's more challenging on the sleeve.
It's why I've got to do it like this first, then I have to turn it around and stitch in here so that becomes, and then the seam will end up looking nice.
You have to go through that phase where it all looks wrong.
It does, it looks so wrong. And I cannot work out when I'm doing it. Each time I go, have I done this right? I'm pinning it the wrong way around. It seems really funny. So although you kind of get a little bit of an idea how it's going to look, it still looks really messy until I've finished my next stage. But that's really nice. And I've even got some silk coloured buttons.
Some covered buttons.
Yes, covered buttons.
Were they the ones with the little eyelets as well?
Yeah, the tiny little eyelets. So I know at the moment it doesn't really look, and Becky's pinned that there for me so that when I come into class next time I've already got my starting point. So the sleeve won't be hanging down randomly like when I finish. So I'm sorry it's not really finished at all enough just to be able to have a look at, but I'm going to be working on this next week. So that's what I've been doing this week.
Going to need to have a pyjama party.
I think so, yeah. I think that would be really good.
They need to be worn in public.
I promise when I've made them I will wear them in the video. I promise I'll wear them.
Yeah, okay. I've got some me-made nightwear as well. We'll have a pyjama session with teddies and hot water bottles. And
exactly. Cocoa pots. And then the other thing was, in class, Becky was wearing this dress.
Yes.
Which I admired, and then who else?
Everyone wanted one. It's actually I'll show you the pattern.
Person wanted it.
It's not a pattern I sell. Yeah. This is very, very well thumbed. I've made 4 versions of this myself, but in various different iterations. Some, like quite a few of them, were hacks. In fact, this is the only one that's not a hack. But this is View B, but without the sleeves. It's Vogue 9311, and it's really good size inclusive. It goes from 6 to a 22, so you only need to buy one pattern. Depending, regardless of whether you're right on the cusp of sizes. Yeah. I've done a small bust adjustment on this one, which is why I've then made it so many times, because I've got a pattern that's perfect. And it's great for eating in. So you've got lots of space in here. Yeah. I made a
buffet dress.
It is a buffet dress.
It's a picnic buffet, yeah.
It's quite good for picnics, but there's probably not quite enough room to sit cross-legged. Yeah. Well, just about. But I made one version of this where I took the whole skirt pattern, opened it out and did it gathered, so I had room for a bump. I've done one version which was actually just exactly like that in a black silk, which was really lovely, but a bit too glamorous for every day. And I've also done a version where I cut this into tiers and had really full tiers. They're all on my Instagram actually. So on Instagram I am Studio Snippets.
Can we put a link in?
We can probably we can put a link in if anyone wants to know. But yeah, I've made so many different versions of this dress, and I'm going to make another one actually. This wasn't part of what I was planning to tell you, but I'm going to make that version with a ruffle even though I don't really have the ankles for that style. But I've got a broderie anglais with a border on it.
Oh, no.
So like it's a Swiss dot with a broderie anglais border, and it's going to be beautiful. But anyway, I was not going to mention that one today. But yeah, this pattern it's just so useful. For me personally,
it's just amazing. And it was just the fact that by the time we'd all walked in, I think you've ordered 4 of us.
I've
five
got,
in the
I've
class.
got 5 on
And
order.
you've got, is it 5?
Just
5 people in the class.
yeah, 5 people in the class.
Just for us in the class. So we all went mad, and we love Becky's dress so much. We've all ordered it. And I also, it was my birthday on Monday, and I was gifted some vouchers for the Dot Studio, and I said to Becky, "What fabric do you think I should make this in?" So we've come up with this art gallery one, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Sarah went, "What fabric shall I have?" And I went,
"This one."
That one.
So she picked it straight out for me. The only thing is, I'm not allowed to start to make this dress until I have finished my pyjamas and my Charlie Caftan.
Which is cut out.
Which is cut out, so my Charlie Caftan's all cut out. And that is a project I'm actually doing at home, not in class, so I might be able to get some of that. I think I might be coming to you though for the waistband bit. I think that might find its way into class just one little bit to help me.
It just has a bit of tricky corners.
Yeah,
although I think it's actually aimed at adventurous beginners, the pattern.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got it here.
I don't know if
It's your PDF version.
Yeah.
I think it's aimed at adventurous beginners, and it is very, very straightforward, except for that bit in the middle, just getting the turnings neat. And I know how easy it is because after you said you were going to make one, I whizzed one up last week. So I've only got the tiniest little bit of hand sewing to do on the inside, but I made one up in this gorgeous. It's another art gallery rayon. I love them.
So
They're just. This is an art gallery. This is another one. And I'm actually going to the opera this afternoon, so I'm going to wear this to the opera. It's not actually very nice weather outside, so I'm wearing trousers underneath, but it's got splits up to the knee, so it kind of with wide leg trousers, it's just gives me just an extra layer of coverage. So yeah, I've made this, and I've got a little bit of hand sewing to do inside, and I thought I might just demonstrate slip stitching. It's something that people are always asking me to do, and they're like, "Oh, it's like magic, you can't even see the stitches." So I thought I might even just do a little demo and show you. Maybe you could film me doing that. So
I'll film you doing it.
in a moment,
yes, with the magics of editing.
We're saying the magic elves. Hi,
Louisa. she'll be able to make that happen. So I think yes, I'm going to get a close up and do that on the iPhone.
Should we do that now or should we do it later?
No, let's do it now.
We'll do that now. Right. Okay. So I will start by threading up a needle. You might even want to film this because this is the best 14 grand I ever spent was learning how to thread a needle. I joke, but my student loan, which I haven't paid off yet, I haven't even begun paying it off yet. I think the best thing I learned at university was how to thread a needle like this.
Oh wow!
So if I if you
has a white background.
Oh, you've got the tape on your
tape.
So if you cut a length of thread, are you filming?
Oh,
that way round. Let's go that way round.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So ready. Right.
So that it fits in with the screen.
Yeah.
I usually forget that. So I've cut myself a little length of thread. I will go with that actually and do it on here. Twice as long as I need it to be. And I've put both ends together. Right, it's my needle. So those of you who don't like threading a needle are not going to enjoy this. But I put both ends together and both ends go through the needle. I'm doing this quite a long way away from my face. Oh, I'm not going to do this now. Got going camera shy.
Just shows it's real.
In real time. Just shows my eyesight isn't what it used to be. So I've gone through that needle, I can't even see if I'm on the screen, and pull both ends through together. I'm going to leave the long end with the loop, and this is why. So here is the last little bit. So I've done all the rest of this bit of the Charlie Caftan on the sewing machine, and I've just got a gap from here to here. There's a little pin just there holding it in place. So I'm going to do a tiny stitch on the facing on the inside, go through and then catch the loop with that thread, and look, there we go. that's attached, there's no knot. This is really, really useful if you're working with an open weave fabric, where when you tie a knot, you don't want to have to keep making the knot bigger and bigger and bigger to stop it from pulling through. So I always attach like this. There's a few times, if I didn't want to have double thread for some reason, then I would do a traditional little knot. But I find on the whole, if you use a fine enough thread, this is absolutely fine. So a slip stitch. I am actually shaking. I think it's because I haven't eaten lunch. I'm going to go into the folded facing here. I'm going to travel along through the folded facing. I'm going to come out and catch a tiny bit there. Now it's not coming all the way through to the other side. It's only catching on the seam allowances. And then the stitch is really minute and I pull it away to nothing. So then the next stitch, you travel from where you've emerged in your facing fabric, in your line, in the seam allowance, right over to there, travel through, come out and just catch a tiny bit. And you see how the stitch just vanishes because it's so tiny. So there's the tiny stitch on the surface, travel through the fold, come out, catch a little bit of the seam allowance. Actually probably easier for me if I do this a bit faster. This is really handy, I'm getting to finish my dress. Oh, now this is the only snag to this, is that sometimes one of your threads goes longer than the other. Because I don't normally do this so far away from my face when I'm doing this. In out. I can hear the dishwasher. I don't know if you can hear that. Hope you can't hear it on the film. Anyway, so I'm just whizzing now along this little section. So I'll just talk you through it one more time. So where I've emerged in that seam allowance, I'm going to go into the fold of the facing, travel through the fold, come out and just catch a little bit of the seam allowance as I go.
For the next one, just show as you come out very slowly.
So I'm just coming out, then I'm catching.
You
as I come out
yes,
there, so you see my needle is,
yes.
I'm just catching the tiniest little bit of seam
as
allowance
you come
there.
out. Just for the camera, that's the bit that seems less obvious to see before. So.
I don't normally have to do this very slowly.
That's what I mean, it's probably because you're...
I normally do it resting in my lap. I find it really therapeutic stitch. I could do this for hours, in fact I have done. The last wedding dress I made, I think was, I think the whole dress actually was about 80% hand sewn. Right, so I've got to the end of my little gap. Just going to go into that seam allowance again. Again, not going all the way through, and I'm just going to do a couple of little stitches in the spot. That's it.
That's it.
And you can't really see those stitches.
No, not at all.
So that is slip stitching.
Oh, look at that.
That was the last little bit. That's all I had to do to finish it off. I might even put that on and show you. Yeah, so that's a little mini tutorial. If you enjoyed that, do let us know, because we can do more mini tutorials and hopefully I won't shake quite so much. I do think it's because I've not eaten anything. So that is that dress. Oh, what I was going to show you as well was how much fabric I had left over. So because I wanted to make this and I just cut the piece of fabric, took it home, washed it and brought it back and then started sewing again the same evening. I wanted to make sure I didn't leave myself short. And you know what I'm like, I like to have
normally
really tight like leftovers. I don't like too much left. But I didn't have much length left. I did have lots in the width, which I always knew would be the issue. You can't cut a maxi dress like that needs long, one big panel in less length.
Yes.
But I do have all of this fabric left over. In fact, by weight, it's the same amount of fabric.
Oh, is it?
I think, approximately. So, look here, I've got enough there to make a narrow slip dress, something like the saltwater slip, or I probably, because I've already got a dress made out of it, I'm going to make an Ogden cami and a t-shirt, I think.
Yeah, what if I make a little pair of shorts?
It would make shorts.
Really?
I would.
Ogden cami.
I don't think I would wear.
You'd
I'd
not
wear
wear
it
that?
in bed,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't wear little shorts.
Out of that,
It's not substantial enough.
Yeah.
I wobble too much. But there's all that left over, so that's kind of going to. I never ever cut the odd bits off. I always
No, you
leave
never
all
do.
the dangly bits, and then I just fold them all in so that when I come back to make the next garment, I've got all of the. Because you never know when you might need like a really long skinny bit for a tie or for a facing. Yeah, exactly. So I actually never cut the bits off, but I will just roll it up. I might even roll it like that and then just tie it, and that's quite neat then to store. Anyway, so that's my latest caftan.
Perfect.
But I have been waiting for this fabric to come in, which is what I actually wanted to make it out of, and I got impatient, so made it out of that. And now I know it's quite quick. There might be more on the horizon. So this was the fabric that I have been waiting for. It is a Pip and Low fabric. It's another rayon. It's a premium quality. It's beautifully soft.
Feels amazing.
Isn't it lovely?
It feels like cool to the touch.
It is,
It's got
yeah.
like, it actually feels.
Yeah, whereas that one, maybe it's because I've been handling it.
No, it just.
No,
it's
that
just
was quite cool.
Yeah, it's just got a
Yeah.
really fluid. Sort of, I can't quite describe that.
It's
I'm
quite
really bad.
smooth.
It's really
It's
smooth.
smooth, yeah.
It's so smooth. I think that's why it's got like a nice cool feel to it.
So this is a plain weave fabric. It's like a lawn, but in a rayon. Actually, I think this is a modal rayon. And this range has several different designs. So this is the one that I particularly wanted. Ooh. Was that the timer to tell us we've been talking too long? It was.
Yes.
How long have we been talking for? 16 minutes. Okay, there we go. We're on a time frame this afternoon because I am actually going out to the opera very shortly, and I don't want to hold Sarah up because she's been up since God knows when and hasn't slept. So we'll whiz through this as quick as we can. So this was the parrots. This one, which we're already halfway through the roll because my mum came in and went, I love it, I'll have all of it. So there's this one with the sort of olive green leaves. This one, which I don't know what this is. It's just an abstract print, but it's gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, look, now there's a delivery at the door.
Oh.
Bear with
So
me.
you can do that one.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
Anything exciting?
I've no idea what this is actually. Oh, it's brio. I've ordered some trains before. Okay, so this abstract one with, I love these sort of tomato coloured spots. This one might be actually, it's not really your colours.
I
It's
like
got
it.
horses on
Oh
it.
no!
It's got horses.
Oh, no.
So this one is a sort of cobalt blue and teal with they look like little Rebecca
Wow.
flowers, but I
They're
think it's beautiful.
amazing.
So I don't know how long these are going to last. They might not even be available by the time this video actually goes out. This one is from Jessica Jones. This is also a Cloud9 fabric. How retro is that?
I really like that.
Hot pink lipstick, hot pink nails,
Do you know
massive
what? I
hat.
think that could. It's quite random. It's almost a colour that could actually. Is it me? Is it too bright for me?
No, I don't think
I
that's
could
appropriate.
probably
It's got
just
the brown,
about
it's
get.
got
I
that
could, yeah, because
cinnamony
it's got that
brown.
in it. I could probably just get away with it. I think screams you.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, great on there.
I've got so many clothes.
I like this.
You
next
can't
one.
have too many.
I like the next one.
This one, I think this is
I
beautiful
like this
as well.
one.
This one, I don't know if this isn't quite my colour.
I like that. I love that.
I think that
I
works
really
on
like
you.
that.
It's a
I
real
like that.
fresh green. It's got a warmth to it as well. But in terms of the colour depth, I think
And
that's beautiful.
it looks so. Just when you just did that, when you pulled it together, and if you kind of like got something with a slightly cinched in waist, I love
Yeah.
how it looks as it actually.
Do you
pulls
know,
in.
that would be nice actually with a button through.
Yeah.
You'd have to pattern match it. But a button through with some really gorgeous buttons, maybe in a contrast
Yeah.
colour, and a little belt.
That's really
That's beautiful.
nice. I like
Or a
that.
jumpsuit.
Imagine.
Oh, no, that's quite a lot of pattern matching though. Anyway, so this is my new fabric porn.
It's absolutely lovely.
And the other thing that came in this week is, now I've got an apology to make. Anybody who bought this fabric, we mentioned this in our second video, I think. So let me just slide these out of the way. If I can get them over there. We mentioned this fabric. I was sold this as 100% linen, and it's got this like really beautiful, thick, drapey, heavy linen. It turns out, and my rep was really apologetic, turns out it's actually a linen and viscose mix, which actually is, now that makes more sense why it's so drapey.
And it's also probably makes sense why I love it so much.
Yeah,
because
'cause it's got that flow.
I'm not a fan at all of crinkly linen look. it's not
No.
my thing.
Whereas this,
And I could never wear the crinkle just never stays, and that's why I loved it so much, and why I will be making trousers out of this beautiful
Yes,
colour.
we've got as ever. These are the new colours. This is like the bright ones, and Sarah's got the muted
And
ones.
I have the muted ones, so it's my range. It's Becky's range.
So these colours are all on the website as well now as well. I am really sorry for anyone who bought them before thinking that they were pure linen. We thought they were pure linen. They're not. Huge apologies. It doesn't detract from how beautiful the fabric is,
No.
so I hope nobody's too cross with us. Also, it makes more sense of why it's such a reasonable price at £15 a metre.
Yeah, but it's
Because I was wondering how they could have linen this thick at £15 a metre. Anyway, we now understand why.
so.
Sorry. Anyway.
Personally, it's clearly why I love it so
you love
much.
it even more now.
I love it
You're more
even.
likely
I
to
love
actually
it
buy
even
now.
more because viscose for me, it's just I love it.
I
It's
think
kind of my
that colour's
fabric.
called Stone. That
Stone.
colour I think we've called either Natural or Ecru, I can't remember now. And that's an ivory. I've also got it in black, and this one I called Catkin, and red, and this one I think is Denim Blue. But I think these are all additions to the previous, when we did it in our previous video and we had some colours in before. So these are all new ones. So that is probably
That's probably it.
all we
I
need
was-
to tell you today.
Yeah, I think the only other thing was you did pull out
Oh,
just
yeah.
your 4 favourite crayons.
Shall I put this on?
Yeah,
I'll
go on.
quickly
Yeah,
make
quickly
it
put
on.
that on.
Right,
While
you
you do that, while Becky goes and pops that her dress on quickly for you, I will show you. These were her 4 favourite rayons to be able to do this. So this is the one that Becky is actually putting on now. So this is what she made her Charlie Caftan in. It's absolutely beautiful. Then there is the, what did you call it? What did you call this flower?
I think I've called that one Hollyhocks.
So this was the holly.
That's
so
the
this
dress I was wearing just now.
Yes, so that's what Becky had on just now. So that's this. So that give you like a nice little close up of that there. And then there were another.
That's been on my shortlist, that one, to make the short version of the Charlie Caftan.
Oh yes.
I think that'd be so nice, and I don't think I'd need the gathers in it. So I think the
that
sort of
come out.
block
I think
of that.
I think actually it's more that way. Just sorry, I think I was pointing. I don't. Yes, it has got a direction, and that's the direction on that one. And then just the last one was the leopard print. And, so again, totally different, sort of going away from the florals there, but just thought that was also really nice. So a little look up there at the leopard print. And there you go.
This
That's
is
now
it.
finished and ready to be worn to the opera this afternoon.
Pretty much every single class I've taught this week, somebody's gone, oh, can I just try it on for the size? So
I tried it on for the size.
I've made this actually I had to borrow Sarah's pattern because we sold out this week. So this is actually the size 10, which is, I think it's just perfect for me, but it fitted a whole range of different people.
Fitted me
Yeah, it fits you,
perfectly.
but we're not wildly dissimilar.
No.
You're just taller,
Yeah.
and you're a
I've got
little
broader,
bit
I've got
broader
broader
on the
back, but
back.
because there's the room in the back, and
Yeah.
because you bring it in all with the
This
tie,
is-
it's really,
This is
really
going to be
nice.
so good for this afternoon because I'm going to eat a lot of picnic.
And actually, it's a nice V, but it doesn't go too far.
No, it's not
really
too low.
modest, isn't it? So
Yeah, whereas the one I was wearing earlier is really quite deep. So I've got my big, ridiculous earrings, which love these. I got these in a charity shop.
Locally.
Oh, I can't remember.
No, it wasn't.
A long time ago. Anyway, here we go.
Wow.
So I'm ready for the opera, darling.
Wow.
So on that note,
On that
I think
note.
it's about time we wrapped up.
Yes.
We'll catch up with you guys soon. If you have any questions, do ask us, and hopefully we'll see Sarah's pyjamas slightly further down the line the next time, and I might have whipped up another Charlie Caftan in the meantime.
And
we'll see.
I'm hoping to be part way through, if not finished, my Charlie Caftan. I'm going to
Yeah.
really try to be able to wear in that next time we do a video. But yeah, Becky's much quicker at sewing than I am.
Well, not really, because I don't get much time with with classes and the toddler and all that stuff. Anyway,
But yeah.
actually, no, I'm already wishing I'd put pockets in this. But I've got pockets in my trousers underneath, so I've sort of got somewhere to tuck my hands. I didn't put pockets in it because I wanted to put French seams, because I just thought it would give it a really lovely smooth line. Next one will have pockets.
Next one,
definitely.
pockets. Brilliant.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.